Welcome to another English learning adventure. I'm just taking out the rubbish right now. To be honest with you, today I don't really have a plan. Someone on a bike. We're just going to be seeing what happens. I know for a fact it is going to rain at some point today. It already is kind of raining a little bit, so that's unideal, but it's all good. And yeah, I'm abysmal at planning things. So look at this. Look at the range of vending machines. There's cigarette vending machines, very naughty, but Pokemon card vending machines. And more Pokemon, like random card vending machines and drink vending machines, obviously. I'm in Japan right now, by the way. Now, you might be wondering what this thing is, or you might not be wondering, so it's the first time that I've shown it to you. Basically, this is this contains some questions I'm going to answer throughout the video. And you may also have noticed that there will be some vocabulary popping up on the screen, and all of that vocabulary will be included in a completely free PDF, and the link to that is in the top comment. The rain has officially started. What is this insect? Is that like a beetle or something? Maybe we are in Harry Potter. It seems to be stuck though, and I don't really want to touch it. Should I touch it? Should I find something? God, I'm going to help it. Ready? There's a leaf. Okay, we have a leaf here. I hate insects. God's sake. Okay, there you go. Oh my god, that is beautiful. It's like copper or something. Okay, good luck, brother. Good luck. Okay, we seem to have stumbled across a very, I guess, the financial district of Osaka. It's very nice here. We're going to be going to a cafe, and then we're going to go to a nice park area. There is something I do need to get first though. If I showed you this building, you would not think that we were in Japan, right? You'd think we were in Europe, like Austria or somewhere like that, especially with that lamppost. It's very European. Nice. Anyway, that is the river, and the cafe we want to go to is down there. And then if we go a bit further on, there's this rose garden thing, and we will chill there for a bit, and I will answer some of the questions. By the way, this is officially the first video I filmed under an umbrella, and it's actually quite nice. I feel like we have a bit more privacy this way. Okay, so we're on the way to the cafe, and I've just come to this place here, and this is basically an English tea room, and I've walked past this quite a few times, and I've always wanted to try it, and I feel like this is surely the time to try it, right? It's a bit awkward though, because obviously I'm the most famous English person in the universe, so as soon as I walk in there, they're probably going to recognize me, right? And they're probably going to have photos of me up on the wall. They'll have my videos playing in the background, and they're probably going to insist that I get all of the cakes and the tea for free, and in exchange for that they'll want some photos and some autographs and stuff like that. I guess it all just comes with the sort of part of the package, you know. These are the vicissitudes of being famous. That's a good word, quite hard to say though. Vicissitudes. 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 Okay, let's go. Okay, so there was a 30-minute wait to get served, so I've decided to go to the other cafe. And I'm not going to lie, it was quite civilized in there, but it did also feel slightly pretentious. So I guess they did nail that part of the British culture, fair play to them. However, there were literally no photos of me up on the wall, and they weren't playing my videos in the background. And I'm not even sure that she recognized me, to be honest, so it can't be that authentic, do you know what I mean? So yeah, we're going to go to the other cafe. To be honest with you, I think it will be quite a bit nicer than that place. Okay, this is it, the rose garden. Let's go. So the river's right there. I was here yesterday actually, but the sun was out, so it was a bit nicer. I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry the weather is so bad by the way today. Yeah, there's not really much I can do about that. I guess it does make it a bit more British, a bit more authentic. But yeah, sorry about that one. Now, unfortunately, because of the fact that I'm holding this umbrella in the left hand and my phone in the other, I'm unable to get to the questions, so I can't answer them just yet. But there's a nice bridge over there in the distance, so we'll go and sit under that like we're homeless and make our way through some of these questions there. Okay, we found the perfect question answering setup. So we have the seat here, in other words my backpack, bottle of water because I don't have any other food or drink. We have the tripod here, and yeah, we're just on the side of this of this park. Question number 1, where are we? We are in a random park in Osaka, Japan. Number 2, what's one British phrase learners need to know? So I'd say cheers, meaning thank you, is very important. All right, meaning hi or hello, extremely important once again. And no worries, meaning don't worry about it. So let's say, for example, someone thanks you for doing something for them. You could just say, no worries, no worries. Right. What is the dating culture like in the UK? Good question, Dylan. Well, I'd say it's a bit slower. So I know in some places here, for example, and also in Ukraine, I believe. Don't ask me how I know that. If you went on like one date with someone, they might be your girlfriend or your boyfriend after that one date. Whereas in the UK, it takes a lot longer. It'd typically be after 3-4 dates, something like that. And that goes for saying I love you as well. That would take a long time. Here, or just in other parts of the world, maybe you'd say that within like a month or something. If you said that to a British person, like if you were in a relationship with someone from the UK or a relationship in the UK and you told them that you loved them within a month, I think that would be considered way too early, way too soon. I genuinely think it would take between like 3 to 6 months, maybe even up to a year. So we're just a bit slower to express the feelings. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think a British relationship's it's slow and steady. So there's a lot more stability to it because of the fact that it takes so long to build up and build up. You don't just jump into it like that. And therefore, the cheating culture in the UK is way less prevalent than it is here in Japan and other parts of the world as well. Because here and other parts, they jump into relationships, they say I love you, and then they didn't take the time to realize that maybe they're not actually that compatible. So they cheat on each other, right? But in the UK, cheating is seen as a very big deal. It's more than frowned upon. So it's unlikely to happen, it's rare. And if it did happen, it'd be like, oh wow, that's really bad, that's really bad. So it takes a bit longer, but I'd say you're a bit safer in a British relationship. What's your favorite thing to do when you are stressed? Run on a treadmill, just sprint on a treadmill, sometimes with music. Sometimes I just take the pain in silence. I remember I had a really bad haircut here in Japan and I was stressed about it because it was awful. So this is back when I had my mullet, and that's when it's like longer hair cut on the sides. And I had this hairstyle for about 2 years, and the guy just chops off the mullet, which I don't have it anymore, but that was a big deal. And I was so annoyed because he said to me, would you like me to cut any off the back? And I said, a tiny bit. I went like that, and it was quite long. And he must have thought I meant to leave this much on because he took it all off. I was fuming, I was so angry. Completely ruined my day, yes. So I went to the gym, ran on the treadmill for 30 minutes straight, sprinted on that. Yeah, that's a good way to alleviate some of the stress, I think. What's it like being a student in the UK? That's a very good question. I know that some of you may be going to university here, maybe that's why you're learning English through these videos. Lots of drinking, back in my day anyway, so I'm 28 now, and I left university when I was 22, I think, so 18 to 22. And there was a lot of drinking going on back then. I think in general people are drinking less often now. So, but I'd still imagine with students they're still going to be drinking quite a lot, although it's optional. No one's going to pressure you to drink that much, especially if you're an international student. I think they will respect your culture a bit more. Maybe if you're not a big drinker, that's absolutely fine. And obviously there are still loads of people that don't drink, regardless of whether or not they're students. So drinking, but also everyone's kind of a mess, because for a lot of people this is the first time they've lived by themselves. So it's kind of the bridge between being a child and actually being an adult. So they're going to be eating like awful meals. In my first year of university, I was so everyone's broke as well. No one has any money. I was so broke, and for about a month, the final month, I seriously had no money. So I was living on toast and black coffee. That's all I could afford, was bread and coffee beans. I couldn't afford milk. Are you kidding me? That's expensive. No. Margarine? No. Oh yeah, plain toast, by the way. No toppings. I could afford bread and black coffee beans. That's it. Yeah, so that's what I was living, and that's not uncommon as well. I'd say like a typical British student meal is beans on toast, probably, with eggs, although eggs are expensive, so I don't know if you'll be able to make that. Or just pasta with like pre-made pasta sauce. Nothing wrong with that. So just a load of pasta, put the sauce in. Well, that's like a fairly luxurious student meal, I would say. What is the work culture like in the UK? Relaxed, casual, I'd say, compared to some parts of the world. Here, for example, it's pretty healthy. So by casual, I mean, even though, so you would have a boss, right? But you wouldn't necessarily call them Mr. or Mrs. Smith. You may call them by their first name, to be honest with you. I'm sure this depends. If it's a very corporate job, like if you're a lawyer or something like that, you'd probably call them Mr. or Mrs. surname, right? But for most jobs, most office jobs as well, you would call them by their first name. That wouldn't be an unusual thing to do at all. And you'd call all of your colleagues by their first names as well, actually. Also, there's less pressure to do stuff here. So for example, to do stuff in the UK. So if your boss was like, let's go drinking after work, in some parts of the world you have to say yes, right, or else it's seen as rude. If your boss forced you to drink in the UK, they would be in the HR office the next day, potentially getting fired, because you can't do that type of stuff in the UK. So I think it is quite healthy in the sense that you won't be forced to do anything you don't want to do. We're very strict with rules and acting appropriately. I think so. And it's certainly becoming stricter and stricter as well. So I'd say it's healthy, to be honest with you. Working hours aren't too bad, maybe 9 to 5, 9 to 6, depends on the job, but yeah, honestly, it's compared to some places, it's pretty healthy. There might be a bit of a culture shock with how casual it is though. What's something you're looking forward to? This Sunday, I'm launching a 21-day accent challenge. The link will be in the top comment when it goes live on Sunday, but basically in 3 weeks, you'll be able to improve your British accent. It's very affordable, it's very fun, and we will have a call at the end of it, so check that out. Sorry, I had to get that in somewhere. Is London overrated, or is it worth the hype? Well, I lived in London for 1 year, 7 years ago, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thought this is an amazing city. I don't know what it's like now, to be honest with you, but I can confirm that when I was there before, it was amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was not overrated. It really was worth the hype. So yeah, you're gonna have to go for yourself. It is expensive, that's one thing I will say, but I'm sure if you went there you'd have a good time. So I'm gonna say it isn't overrated. Haven't been there for a while though. Best places apart from London? Good question. So Oxford is a lovely place. It's about an hour away from London. I think they filmed some of the Harry Potter films there. There are 2 universities there, and the buildings are magnificent, and there are green. It's one of my favorite things about Oxford is that there are green spaces everywhere. They have some of the biggest, most luscious parks you could even imagine, and there's still some sort of activity there. There's shops and there are bars and restaurants and stuff like that. So I'd recommend Oxford. Beautiful place. Bristol, I made a video there as well. I was living there for quite a while. A really cool, trendy place. 2 universities, very multicultural, and a lot of different vibes. Just quite a trendy place in general. and Ambleside in the Lake District. Once again, I did film a video there. Beautiful, beautiful. It isn't really like a city, it's like a small, sleepy town, but it's surrounded by nature. It's incredible. I love it. What would you do if you weren't a teacher? I would like to be a barber, so a hairdresser for men, because I think I'd be good at it and I think it would be very satisfying as well. Or a postman, because I enjoy walking and I like being outside, like a dog. How old are you? 28, I already said that, bro. I'm a Pisces, which is why I'm next to the water right now, which is why I'm outside in the rain. And final question, what is everyday life like in the UK? To be honest, I'd say it's kind of the same as everywhere else. If I were to speed run what the normal day for someone in the UK would look like, wake up maybe 7 o'clock to an alarm, lie in bed for half an hour, have some toast for breakfast or some cereal, maybe a cup of tea, maybe a coffee or a banana or something, go to work, maybe they walk, maybe they drive, maybe they get the bus, maybe they get the train, maybe they cycle, sit at your desk for about 5 hours till lunch, have a bit of banter with your colleagues, and then get up several times to make cups of tea and stuff like that. Lunch, you may bring some food in from last night's dinner, maybe some pasta, maybe a sandwich that you prepared the night before, or you might go out for lunch, maybe go to Tesco, get a meal deal, and then go back to the office. You'd probably eat it at your desk. I don't know why, but that's just kind of what I think is quite common in the UK. And then sit there for like another 5 hours, and then eventually you leave work at 5 or 6 or something like that. And then you might go for a pint after work. You may go to, like, I don't know, football five-a-side practice or pickleball. That seems to be really popular everywhere in the world at the moment. I really want to try it, but I've never tried it before. And then, or you might just go home and watch Netflix, have some food, whatever. And I'd say that's the standard office job. Obviously, there are many different types of jobs as well. That's just from my working experience. When I had that type of, when I was working in an office in London, that's exactly what I did for about a year. So that's all I can really comment on. But I think that's fairly standard. Certainly in terms of the food that you're eating, that seems to be pretty standard. Right then, I think we're going to end the video there. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry, I know this has been a bit of a strange, some would say rubbish video. The weather has just been dreadful, and I've been a bit, I don't know, I've been a bit lethargic this week. I don't think I've really been myself this week, but it's all good, yeah. We all have like off days, off weeks and stuff like that. The newsletters were dreadful this week, I can't even lie. Anyway, normally they're better than this, right? And I post new videos every single Friday. Normally we have some fun adventures and stuff like that. So if you enjoyed this one, then you will love the other ones. I'd recommend watching this video right here. This is me climbing the mountain. It's a really good one. And make sure to check out the PDF in the top comment for all of the vocabulary that popped up on the screen. And I will see you next Friday for another adventure. And of course, we have the 21-day accent challenge this Sunday, and the link is in the top comment. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. Mwah.